that time.
Pre-record on my count. 7, 6, 5, 4. Here we go, Roger.
On Insights, two eyes in the middle. INSiiGHTS, where we always talk the talk.
Here we are. Mickey Clayton, the coach, and my good friend, the reporter's
favorite reporter. I am here. What's happening, Coach? What is going on?
Man, it's always great to have you with me.
Well, I always appreciate you. I appreciate you, Coach. I appreciate you inviting me to this beautiful segment.
Oh man, you know it's always about something, and me and you always try to be in the middle of it some kind of way.
Oh yeah.
That's what we do. That's what we do, Rick.
And we do it well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, we got so many comments from last week. It was, and the week before. Let me ask you want the serious comments first, or you want the comments at you first?
Let's do the serious comments first because let's warm up. Let's warm the people up because the people don't want me always black. Well, yes, they do. So just bring it. Just surprise me.
Just surprise
me.
Well, we have Dr. Prasad, who gave us the tip about doing something on the legends. Dr. Prasad, being the educated man that he is, he said yes, college athletes should be compensated. Many get injured before they graduate and are left to hang out to dry, never funded to complete their education. He said, yes, they do get scholarships, but they have to work hard to keep it while balancing academic and strenuous practice and play. Students with free scholarships don't have anything to do but study. They do not bring in vast sums of money to the university. 3, they bring notoriety to the institution, which enables coaches to recruit the best player every year. 4, when drafted, the institutions get all the credit when the athletes perform admirably.
True. I like it.
Like
very
that?
Educational. Very, very educated response there. I expect nothing less from Dr. Prasad. Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty good from him. Okay, we had another comment that said, at the end of the day, sports programs bring in a lot of money to the university. If I'm not mistaken, don't they generate revenue for academic programs as well? Or are they generating money only for the student athletes' tuition?
I'm sure that is by the school. I mean, I'm sure that some schools have it for athletics. Some schools probably have it for the entire spectrum of the university. I mean, but you worked in the middle of there, Coach, so you would know more.
Well, let's take the Florida Classic.
Okay.
Bethune-Cookman's take on that helped a lot for the institution, paying teacher salaries. As a private school, it's completely different. At FAMU, the money made goes to athletics. In town, when Florida State was rolling really, really good, they made money to help they gave money to library, money to different academic programs. So it kind of depends, on the school and how it's set up. But like somebody's comment to me about the same thing was, they say it's just ironic to them that people fuss about athletics, and when athletics gives money to help academics, it's all well and good. But when the role is reversed, it's an issue and a problem.
It's no fun when the rabbit has the gun. Okay.
You see, there you go. Had another comment. It says, as far as paying the players, it makes sense to me for the revenue sports to simply receive some type of stipend or supplement. As far as the non-revenue sports, making sure that they have for scholarships for tuition seems to be fair. Anything more than that seems to be too complicated.
So but you couldn't get away with that. Just the revenue sports getting money. It would cause too much of a upheaval. And then how many sports are actually making money? I mean,
well, it's mostly football, and every now and then basketball breaks even, which presents the problem, almost like the conflict that they have between the NBA and the WNBA and the salaries and the money not being equal, and it won't ever be equal, not because it's male and female, but just because of the revenue generated by the WNBA. Okay, moving along.
all right.
Tell the reporter to ease up on my Cavaliers. That was not me. Now, I could have very well been the one that said it, but I didn't.
I'm sure. I mean, I didn't go in on the Cavaliers. I mean, you won a championship. I mean, that says a lot. I mean, kudos. Good job. Good job. Good luck for the rest of the year.
I'm sorry, I should have had this one included from the earlier segment. They said, what if your school is sponsored by Gatorade or Nike, but Adidas or Powerade goes to a particular student athlete that wants to sponsor them?
Wouldn't happen. There's rules going to be in place that a player sponsorship will not be able to go against the schools. So if the school is Nike, then the player would not be sponsored by Adidas. If a school is Pepsi, why our school would be Pepsi, I don't know. Then
Pepsi
the player
is a good drink. That's why.
Because the player would not get Coke, and we'll have to discuss this offline, because Pepsi is not the real thing.
And it don't need to be the real thing like Coca-Cola. You get that Coca-Cola to clear the acid off your battery, clear the acid off your kidneys too. Then I get a little hit here. And they said, just finished listening to last week's show. They said, I heard where you read my text, but you left out the part about the Deadskins. But I guess that point is dead since they are now just the football team.
Agreed.
I get so that was another one of your cowboy fandoms with a comment at you.
Well, they always say that they don't. Why do I go in on that squad? This is why, because you constantly force me to. I mean, I had no intentions of bringing up that squad from Dallas, and I'm not. I'm gonna leave it alone today. I'm gonna leave it alone. But next week, you got a week reprieve, Cowboy fan and Cowboy Nation. But next week, I will be ready.
Oh, so you'll be back on them again?
Yeah. I'm gonna give them a week reprieve. I mean, they need it. I mean, look what they went through. Look all the things they go through. I mean, they need help.
They got on me too. They told me, said, you at the Browns and you talking all that stuff and going to AT&T Stadium and this, that, and that. They told me, said, don't you forget, we got that Browns ass too. So I'm like, now, the thing that's interesting to me is that, and you're a reporter, you actually hear more stuff like in Dallas before and after the Dallas Cleveland game than you would hear in Cleveland about it. Because I mean, in the sense that the Cowboys were saying, some of the reporters were saying that when they beat Cleveland in Cleveland, how some of the Dallas players said the Browns players pretty much quit during the first quarter.
Wow.
And naturally you wouldn't hear that in Cleveland, but that it was really interesting, when you travel out of town to get the hometown reporter what's really going on. It was kind of interesting.
It is interesting, and being a reporter, I mean, that is, locker rooms are tight. So unless you have a really good source, you're really not going to go up against, and calling someone a quitter is the worst thing you could do in sports, period, and at any level. So to hear that report either has a darn good source,
Mm-hmm.
or he's
Mm-hmm.
stirring up some mess.
Would you have reported that if it had been Tampa Bay and Atlanta and you were in the locker room with Tampa Bay? Would you report that their players said that?
Because players are savvy, and they only say things that they expect to get out. So if they're going to say it, I'm going to report it. Hey, and now if I'm tight with the person, I may say, "Do you know what you're saying? you know this is going to go out," and they'll look at me. Case in point, a player for University of Florida, when I was covering him, was talking about how bad he was and how he could just crush this team. And it was just me and him one-on-one. And I asked him, I was like, now you know me. I've known you since high school, but you shouldn't say that. And he's like, it's true. And I said, okay, it can go out. Okay, game on. So I gave him an opportunity, but that's just me. Many reporters would not give that opportunity. They take it and now they're tweeted right there. Oh, such and such said blah, blah, blah. So it's out there. So no, players are savvy now. They know what they're saying for the most part. And so, yeah, I would have reported it. Definitely. Definitely.
Okay, but we're going to try to do something. We really were ESPN last week because it didn't work. It didn't work. So let's see if we could get this to. Segment called Remembering the Legend. Our segment called Remembering the Legends is a legend himself. Former baseball coach at Florida A&M University, head baseball coach, and former legendary and my classmate, the honorable, respectable, famous, illustrious Joseph G. for Great Durant.
Well, I never had intro nothing like that before. Only you could do it.
We want to talk about and Remembering the Legends is one of our classmates. I want you to share some insight about is Andre Hawk Dawson. Let's share a story about or tell the people about our classmate, the Hawk, the Hall of Fame, Andre Dawson.
Oh man, great guy. He was at least 21, 22 years Major League Baseball. And boy, you see him, you still think he on the yard when he talked to you. He's just been that close all these years. He did so many things to help me during my career, for his equipment and even fundraisers, man. We had some of the biggest fundraisers because of him right there on campus and everything. He the one told me about the baseball card show. And, we started making money off baseball card shows and stuff like that. And, he had us on his package with Mizuno he had that time. So we got all free gloves and shoes, and everybody thought we had a contract and all we thought we had money. But you know the story about behind that money deal. He just helped us out so much, man. Then when I went to Cooperstown where he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Man, that was one of the best days of my life, And man, and he had us down there as a part of the family. Me and Dr. Ramsey, the late Dr. Ramsey and myself, we enjoyed ourselves. Chicago Cubs had a night there for him. And we were invited as special guests, man. That was a big honor, being at Cooperstown, seeing him going in and him talking about his days at FAMU. And he was on that FAMU for 3 years. He played 21 years of Major League Baseball. But all the friends he made at FAMU, we still keep in contact with each other and everything. That's one great thing. You know, he's gonna be Andre. He's good guy.
I ran into him years ago. He was on campus for something, and when I saw him, he was like, "Hey, Mick, how you doing?" I said, "Hawk." I said, "You remember me?" He talking about, "Man, who could forget you?" And I just kind of laughed because, I mean, it had been years, and I wouldn't say that we were friends that hung out together, although the basketball team and the baseball team were always close and always supportive of each other. But I need you to verify a story that was a legend that reached legendary status. When we were there and the baseball field was across from Gaither Gym and the Hawk hitting one to end up in the parking lot.
I remember hitting one that hit that gate. That gate was 400 and possibly we measured it wrong, but we measured 409 feet. And it was a line drive. And he hit that gate and that ball shot back so hard, you could tell how hard it was hit. You know, from a home plate, you know, we played under car pass.
Right.
You wasn't allowed a home run, but that ball, that ball there, I would never forget that one he hit right there. Oh yeah, he hit one. He hit one in the parking lot. He hit one in the street. But the one Dolphin hit to that gate on a line, I nothing like that before in my life. That was 409 feet on a line drive that hit that gate. You know, the gate was closed, but it hit that top railing, shot back. Man, you know, I said, wow. The ball came off his bat different than anybody else. You know, when we first started playing, we didn't have no aluminum bat. We were swinging wood bats. So you got hi-yow sound. You know, when he hit that ball, it was that sound different than anybody else's. You know, we was stuff like that. We had that die-out sound too, but it wasn't like that one Dawson. And look at him. And he was so fast when the ball hit the gate, he might have been rounding third base coming on in the home, you know, because he could run. You know, he was a big, tall guy. You got to get with him and do a show with him. You know, I know he'll be glad to do it too.
But I want to do a story just on the Hawk. And there we go. Hey, make sure you subscribe to Insights Mick and Rick. Go down there in the corner, hit subscribe, hit that button where the notification is, so that time anything from Insights come on, you receive a notification. The reporter, Rick, we got it in today. What'd you think?
The Hawk. Wow. What a memory. I remember seeing him play first at Montreal, and he still had it. He was still smacking them. And I can just imagine how he was at FAM back then. Whoa, how did it sound coming off the bat? Good gosh almighty. But I met him once, and real nice.
Yeah.
Nicest guy. Didn't know me from Adam, and was just made me feel like he was glad to meet me.
Right.
I mean, and that's part of it what makes him a legend. Not just his on the field contributions, but his off the field as well. And making everybody not looking down on anyone. Just, hey, I'm a Rattler, you're a Rattler.
That's right.
Welcome to the family. Great guy.
And that's how the Hawk was. You know, he really was. And like I said, we never really hung out or anything. The baseball team and basketball teams were kind of close. You know, we supported each other and all, but he was the legend. I was a nobody. I was just really stunned that he remembered me.
Awesome.
All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk a little bit about the HBCU prospects who got picked up. But for those of you who are missing the advertisement with Danielle and Gloria, y'all make sure you pick up your copy of Freshman. Go to Mickey Clayton FL, and you can pick it up there. Or you can get it off Amazon. Freshman, my first book written, actually selling pretty good. Tells a story about two guys back in the 70s that were roommates, basketball players. No, it was not an autobiography, though everybody seems to think it was. On a black college campus, and all my boys keep wanting to know, Did you put such and such story in there? Did you put such? You gotta read it to see, because there are some things that we loosely took from the truth, and if you were there, then you know it was more truth than loose. So get your copy of Freshman. Don't ask me if so-and-so, if that's so-and-so that you read in the book. Don't ask me, because I do not know. It's whoever you want it to be.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. There you go. If you know, you know. Freshman at Mickey Clayton FL. That's my personal website, or you could get it off Amazon. You can go to my website, Mickey Clayton FL, get an autographed copy while they still remain. Because we probably won't have a second print, and we'll go on to we're actually working on the second book, and it's about 80% completed. So we look to have it out by Christmas. Now let's talk a little bit about our HBCU players, that none of which got drafted, and we had some that were projected to go as high as the 3rd or 4th round, like David Moore from Grambling. He was the highest ranked, even by HBCU News and Sports. They had the top 5. They actually did 20, but they had the top 5 were listed to get drafted. David Moore from Grambling, Quinterio Cole from Alcorn, Mac McCain III from North Carolina A&T, Brian Mills from North Carolina Central, and the 5th one, the wide receiver, Donnie Corley from Texas Southern. And none of them got drafted. What's your thought on that?
The good thing about that, Coach, is this. While you want to get drafted because you get a guaranteed contract, all you need to do is make the team. Now coming this way is harder, but it's an opportunity there, because every year there's 1 or 2 or 3 undrafted free agents who make the main squad. Now, a lot of these players will likely have to start off on the practice squad, but they're going to have to make an impression real early. And it starts a lot of it for a lot of them this weekend with rookie minicamp. David Moore.
Let me stop. Let me ask you something. What happens to, rookie minicamp, but, the NFL Players Association is trying to tell these guys not to go, not to participate. And for the big money guys, okay, they can afford to not be involved in some of that. But some of these guys that are undrafted free agents and lower round draft picks, they need to have their butt in rookie camp. Would you not think that's true?
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. You have to, because you have to make an impression right away. Because number one, they're not losing anything if they just cut you. So for them to invite you there, they saw something in you. They saw something in you. So you might as well take advantage of it. You're not drafted. So, hey, do everything you can to make the squad. I mean, there are players who have been undrafted who have been great players in the league. So you cannot, as much as the NFLPA does a great job at protecting the players, if this is what they really think, they gotta step back, because they know this is a business. So, but look, listen to some of these famous guys before we get to the ones who this year's crop. Someone who's close to your heart, I'm sure, James Harrison for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, there you go. Right. There you go.
Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer, quarterback, undrafted. Rod Smith, Wes Welker, Nate Newton, former Rattler, was undrafted and became a starter and a key piece.
The Cowboys.
A key piece to see Dallas fans. I'm giving you props. A key piece to Dallas's Super Bowl run in the '90s. So it's possible, but
and
you have to go in there ready to work.
The draft went a lot longer than 6 or 7 rounds. It might have been 11 or 12 rounds then. It went on forever. And one of the things, I noticed that even with the kids, I think in my research, I was able to find 11. If y'all hear about anybody who got picked up as an undrafted free agent, let us know. But how many were you able to find?
You said
Rick?
11. Wow. You got me by 5. Well,
Wow.
yeah, you got me by 5. Well, if you include the rookie then you got me by 4.
Okay, I got David Moore, Grambling. Quinterio Cole was at Alcorn was the number 2 prospect, and he didn't get picked up in the. I didn't see anywhere, and I think he was a kid we talked about that was running like a 4.75 or something, which was, at that safety spot they want you to run people down. Number 3, I had cornerback Mac McCain at A&T, picked up by Denver.
Right.
The number 4 one, based on HBCU News and Sports, I had Brian Mills from North Carolina Central, picked up by Seattle. Wide receiver Donnie Corley. No, I don't have him picked up. He was a 5th ranked, and nobody got him. Calvin Bailey. No, and he's from FAMU. And I can't read. Thank you. Calvin Ashley from FAMU. He got picked up in state by Tampa. Keon Smith from Fayetteville got picked up by Atlanta. Jimmy Robinson from Bethune-Cookman got picked up at Cincinnati. And I think Justin Coates from North Carolina A&T went to Canada. Him and a lineman from Delaware State.
Yeah, Matthew Dirks.
Okay. Now, the most interesting one,
I know you're going to say,
is Jabri Blunt from North Carolina Central, who was Player of the Year in basketball. And we have been hearing about him from his dad and his mom. When Akil came to FAMU, Mel came to the booster office. And didn't ask for anything. He came and got him him and his family, they got $1,000 membership. They were FANG level givers, got a parking space, talked about Akil, but they talked about Jabri, his younger brother, who was playing with LeBron James' AAU team, and what an excellent basketball player he was, and how he was projected to be a stud. And he actually went to Cleveland State, played basketball, and then transferred to North Carolina Central. And he averaged 19 points and 8 or 9 rebounds last year, 6'7", 230. Was the Player of the Year in the MEAC in basketball, and just signed a free agent contract with the Miami Dolphins, who had also drafted Akil.
Wow.
Somewhere I saw that he got time running a 4.40.
Wow.
But there was a lot of kickback. I mean, there were some NFL players who were upset that he got a chance to try out and never played a down in college football. And some of the guys that fussed about it were HBCU grads. And they were all on Twitter, and they were just, the only reason he got drafted was because of who his father was and this and that. And I'm like, okay, Daddy, he's 6'7", 230. Daddy wasn't that size.
No. Not at all.
4.40. I mean, they got him at tight end. I figured taking a flyer on him. I can't fuss about that. I think that's a great opportunity for him.
He has a solid shot down there. Right now the Dolphins have 2. I mean, they have 5 or 6 tight ends on the roster right now, but Blunt, because of his athleticism and because of his pedigree, yes, having a father who played in the NFL helps. Sorry, not sorry. But he has an opportunity to learn the position. There's no pressure on him at all, really.
Right.
They're not expecting him to come in right away and be Tony Gonzalez. You know, they're expecting him to. You're going to have to learn how to leverage against these men now. So, but I think they're going to give him a chance, and that's all you want. You want a shot, either practice squad, or learn how to play special teams. Right. Because all of these undrafted guys, except the linemen, well, maybe a few of the linemen too, will have to probably start off on special teams before they get in. So come to my advice, go to camp in shape, soak up everything, and try to make a play early, especially for the cornerbacks and the wide receivers. Try to get seen early, get your mouth in their name in a good way so they remember you. And then you can ride.
But see, one of the things, and I want you to elaborate on it a little bit more, when you were with the Lakeland Ledger, were you at free agent camps at all and things like that?
Yes. Yes. I always attended OTAs and rookie mini camps and regular mini camps, and anything the Bucks had open, I was there. And that's when you can see. You can tell right away. Some rookies will get cut the first day of rookie minicamp because they didn't cut it. They just didn't. They didn't do it. But then the Bucks always kept one or two undrafted rookies from the rookie minicamp. Always. They always found someone to take to regular camp and just to see them progress. And some made the squad. So this is an opportunity for these guys. I'm excited for these guys because, especially Jimmy Robinson
Bethune-Cookman.
from Cookman with the Bengals. I mean, he has speed. He ran a 4.28. Speed kills. Speed kills. Okay.
We ought to know about his speed.
Yes, and we also know about his versatility. Yeah, I mean, in the backfield, and he plays special teams. These are all great factors for undrafted free agents trying to make it to the league. And so if he goes in there and don't drop passes, go into the mini camp, you don't drop passes, show your speed, catch a few scores, they're going to take you and invite you to the regular mini camp, and then you're almost there. You're almost there. Let's do it, guys. You got a shot. So that they're not drafted, it is disappointing. But at the same time, they still have opportunities.
They still have the opportunity. And the opportunity for that to work, you have to be there first for it to work.
Yep.
You know, if you're not in camp, you don't have a chance to make camp. You know, that's kind of unspoken there.
Just like Lotto, you got to be in it to win it.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, well, Rick, I appreciate you. We were going to talk some about the NBA play-in game, but we kind of over our time now. You know, because the NBA play-in game is a joke. You know, it's a joke. You know, and talking, you know, and I'm gonna say this comment about the NBA because we this is a whole nother show. But one, they played so late last year. Then they started, and the guys just didn't get a chance to get their body to rest and heal. Mm-hmm. And especially some of them, like the Lakers, you know, those injuries that they have and they have had all season. And then they're not the only team. I mean, the Cavaliers are really broke down. They have more coaches than they have players, and they've really struggled. And they were a team that didn't play in the bubble at all. So, I mean, it's just been a really messed up season. And to me, and you know, they're trying to make sure they make that money like college football. They're just trying to get those games out there. And I bet you, Rick, I haven't seen 5 complete NBA games. And I'm a basketball guy.
I'm different. I've seen a lot of the games this year. But I agree with you that this play-in game is a joke. These play-in games, 7 versus 8. The winner becomes the 7th seed. The loser plays the winner of the 9-10 game. What are we in, NCAAs? No, it's not right. The top 8 should make the playoffs. Period. I don't care about what's going on. So nah. But it would be funny. And I like the Lakers.
Don't you say it.
I like the Lakers. I got a Kobe Bryant jersey hanging up. But if the Lakers go from championship to Bermuda. All right, and then what will the league do? I bet you they stop these stupid. They won't continue with them.
Well, the question is, they're even asking, is this just this year or will they continue? I just think it's a joke. Now, what is the storyline if they go to the play-in game and come out of it? I mean,
then what is it? 8 versus 1?
Right.
It should be fun. Fun to see how it works out or not work out. I kind of want to see a train wreck, but
it's going to be a train wreck for somebody. That's for sure.
Indeed. Before we go though, Coach, hey folks, NFL releases their schedule tomorrow.
That's right.
So you see all some good games this year, but we'll find out where they're playing. KC at Baltimore, Buffalo at KC. I'm interested in the Browns at Steelers this year to see if the Browns have, what they say, reverse the jinx, and if they're really ready to take the next step or not, especially after beating the Steelers in the playoffs.
Twice.
So
beat them twice last.
Yep. So I'm really looking forward to
Baltimore until Lamar came back and proved to be a magician. So it's going to be interesting. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're anywhere in the area, go to Lindy's Fried Chicken in Crawfordville, the best fried chicken sandwich in the neighborhood. Go on over there and see the Robinson family over there and tell them we said, what's up? But it's not the same. Lindy's are different everywhere in the city. But the best one is Lindy's in Crawfordville. And we appreciate y'all being with us. And as we always say, try that jank barbecue. Somebody came to my house. I'm like, Coach, you got some of that jank? I said, yeah, but I ain't sharing it. I can give you something else I got in here, but that's no.
Come on, Coach, hook a brother up. Hook.
From INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is the copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representation.
And this is Mickey Clayton, the coach.
Oh, and the reporter. Your reporter's favorite reporter, Rick Brown, with my Coca-Cola.
And he can put that Coca-Cola down. The only good thing about it is it got red in it. Peace, and y'all. Look at him.
We out. Nice seeing y'all. Join